Ladies and gentlemen, it is a Monday evening. You've gotten through the Monday blues, and now it is time for some Overwatch Contenders action. We are week 3, round 9 into this. My name is Podslim. Over there is Hunter Tane. Hunter, how you doing today, man?
You know what? It's another fantastic week of contenders. It's a really fun time, so I'm super excited for today's match against two tough contenders.
Yes, these two teams have been, dominating the top of the leaderboards. Pirates and Pyjamas sitting at 7-1, WISP at 5-3. So, I mean, we can take a look here at how everything has gone so far. Pirates plus 16 in the map differential, easily the ones who have control over this league. And if I remember correctly, we were talking before broadcast, I'm pretty sure they have secured a spot in playoffs regardless of the outcome of the rest of their matches. So that is very good for them, knowing that they do not have as much pressure on their shoulders to perform. Granted, they still want to get that first seed in playoffs, but they are not, fighting to get into playoffs in the first place.
Right, and it's WISP who has a lot more on their shoulders right now. Because while 5-3, it is a good record to sit at. You have that +6 differential, but you have good boys directly behind you, only being fourth place due to the head-to-head. Because WISP beat good boys last week, but you have teams like Amplify and Afterlife who are just one win away from being able to take them down, and it just takes one loss to go from that top 4 to potentially slipping to the bottom half of that leaderboard.
Yeah, and it also depends on if you win or lose, what record you win by. Because, if you are WISP and you are able to somehow 3-0 Pirates, you go from that +6 to a +9. So if Good Boys wins and they only win 3-2, even though you guys have the exact same record, you are still beating them because of that map differential. So that is going to be so incredibly important for, to look at the greater scheme of playoffs, because like we were saying, WISP and Good Boys as well are not secured just yet, but they are going to be continue to fight. But yeah, both of these teams looking to battle it out today. Going to be an interesting one to see how they are able to compete. And we can just take a look right here with the rest of the matches in round 9. Good Boys going to be taking on Rift. Saints and O3 Splash. That is going to be another key matchup to look out for. Another clash of people at the top of the leaderboards, Worldwide and Timeless. Then we obviously got WISP and Pirates and Pyjamas right here. Afterlife and Dragon Dance going to be fighting it out, and then Strix and Amplify. So I know besides this stream right here, my eyes are definitely going to be on that Saints to O3 matchup.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's quite a few matches that are around like the lower and mid card right now. Like Dragon Dance, who's still pretty low on the card. It's Afterlife, who's really trying to kind of fight their way back into that top 4. They've been doing a good job, and we're talking about Pirates and Pyjamas. This is the only team that has managed to beat Pirates and Pyjamas. Somehow they managed to pull off that 3-2, so they definitely have the power to get to that top 4. And going off a team like Dragon Dance should be a good opportunity for them to kind of bolster their record a little bit. But meanwhile, Strix and Amplify also teams that are kind of in that middle to lower card as well. So they definitely need that win. And that should be an extremely close matchup, as these are both extremely scrappy teams.
Yeah, and it doesn't really matter what your record is once playoffs start, because then everyone is back on equal footing. But yeah, you can see right here the rest of the matches and where they are being streamed. So Good Boys and Rift going to be on goodboys_GG, and then Rift 02. Worldwide going to be on Timeless OW. Then the Good Boys 03 matchup going to be on O3 Splash. Then obviously you guys are right here on the Pirates and Pyjamas Twitch channel. So a lot of good action going on, and you can always have both streams open at the same time if you are feeling pretty spicy. I've tried to watch numerous Overwatch streams at the same time, and it's very confusing, but it is still very good if one team is in a break, and then you're able to watch more of them. But regardless of what's happening in these other matches, we are worried about what is happening in this one, and that first map we are going to be having, Hunter, is Oasis.
Yeah, Oasis, a rather unique map when we talk about control points. It's a big conglomeration of, you have University that's really good for brawl comps, you have Garden, which is really good for brawl or dive, so there's a lot of variations that we can see on Oasis, and it's weird to think that it doesn't really contribute to one specific team, since it's such a variety of styles.
Yeah, and the variety of styles allows for teams that have a deeper hero pool to really, flex their muscles to be like, okay, well, maybe we don't really want to play, the Winston Rush comp. Maybe we want to play something a little bit more broadly. Maybe we want to go to something with Ryan. It doesn't really matter what you are in the mood for, but Pirates are really in the mood for this Junker Queen composition along with the Sombra Tracer, which we have seen quite a bit of.
Yeah, it's a very quick composition, but meanwhile, WISP, they're going to be running that very meta, that Brig and Ana comp. Two supports that can do a very good job of keeping each other up. So right now, it's going to be WISP that are going to be waiting for the opportunity to come and waiting for Pirates to make a mistake. The hack almost goes through, but over on the side, Chopper is going to be the first one to fall. Kasama is going to be taken out of this engagement, so now it is the 5-4. They're looking for the next target right now. There's going to be a little chase down Scissor, just trying to keep poking out a little bit. They still have that advantage looking for them right now. They just have to close in together on a target, but they're having a rather tough time doing so right now. Raker getting extremely low, managing to be kept up for the moment being, but the pressure is eventually just going to be too much as Raker's going to be forced out, Rocket as well, as Pirates and Pyjamas is going to take the first fight here, and these sports kind of try to get out of here, but I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, when you just get ran down by Scissors and company right there, it's really hard to get your footing, and we saw Raker hop off that point for just too long and allowed for Pirates to secure it. But obviously, when your health bar is less than 100, you cannot really stay around too long. But now it's up to WISP to find that re-engagement, find a pick of some sort. But when you're playing against Junker Queen, it's so incredibly hard because of how much sustain that she does have, with her knife, with her axe, just with that carnage and bleed combo right there. We see Raker already just getting chunked out, but Scissors, speaking getting chunked, falls.
Yeah, they just got the Pulse Wave online ready to go as well, so that's the one ult they had off of the table. Now they're going to throw the Nano onto Raker as well. They want to nail down this fight with everything they have right now, and the rest of Pip is going to get forced off of the point here, but it's going to be a short while before they're going to be able to re-engage.
Yeah, good, discipline out of WISP right there, not pushing too far in because, you just want to secure that point. You just want to get the progress while you can, because if you rush in there and you die, all of a sudden you are no longer getting as much percentage. You're only getting maybe 5 to 10%, and then you are back at square one. But Chronic getting a nice hack.
Oh no, Faker manages to go down. It's a good hack. It's a good setup right now as the rest of WISP is going to stay on this point a little bit. You see right now that Maple is on top right now. There's going to take a very slow and painful death, unfortunately, trying to get out, but it's not going to happen, and they're going to be forced out, and we're already at that 60% and counting, and people are still dying, Pod.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how far you run back. Z-Man and Zolik are gonna find you. They're gonna run you down all the same. And Pirates of Pyjamas, look at this ult economy. They got 5 ults strong. None of them have used anything. So even though they're going into 80% here, they are fully prepared to deal with it all. EMP out of Chronic.
Yeah.
Not gonna get anything. Oh no.
Yeah, it's the solo EMP, but they don't manage to find anything off of it. The Primal Rage coming up just in time as it's Neb who's going to fall first right now. Raker's trying to find the follow-up, though. They are going to find Z-Man. They have tied this up now, but Raker's going to have to grab that Mega Health Pack right now. They're trying to hold on here as Pirates and Pyjamas are just the tiniest tick away from taking over control of the point. Be devastating for Wisp right now, but right now they're trying to chase down Zolak. They are going to take them down as well. They're going to send one over on Scissors right now. Rocket's going to have to pull out of that in a minute. They're going to instead go focus down Eric. And now it's Wisp who is used a lot of their ult pick, but Pirates and Pyjamas perhaps used a little bit more of theirs.
Yeah, I think what really did it is that back cap out of Wisp. I don't know if it was Chopper or Rocket who, got that back cap, but all the while Pirates and Pyjamas were trying to do this massive engagement. The point just got captured right under their noses. So it doesn't matter how much you win that fight, you are still losing the point. And that just made all the difference. And now we see Wisp is closing in on the total percentage of Pirates, and it is going to be them here in a few seconds who are going to have the advantage.
Exactly, and it's Rocket. That's who you're looking at right now. They have that pulse on ready to go, but instead, it's going to be C-Man. They're throughout the Kitsune Rush, ready to go right now. Chopper in the back, gets headshot, nearly goes down right now. As Anair is going to be thrown into Raker instead, but there's just too much damage and too much heals for them to be able to do anything. So they're going to have to wait their time as the hack comes in on Scissors. They're taken out now. It's the nice stick, but it does manage to get cleansed out. A good cleanse from Z-Man. But they still have the disadvantage right now. The hack coming onto Eric. They're trying to focus him down. The anti, there's nothing to keep them alive within that situation right now as they get to sleep right there on the Zolik. And with only a couple members left looking to get this touch right now, it looks like it's barely going to happen, but it's not going to last long at all. Neb nipping that right in the bud, and Wisp is gonna be taking the first round here.
Pirates and Pyjamas, they got a little bit too far in at that fight so long ago, and it just completely swept the rug right from out under their feet, because, I mean, they looked poised to win that. We were like, holy crap, they have 5 ultimates? How did they get to this point? And obviously it didn't pay off for them. They went in too far, weren't able to get back in time, and WISP capitalizing on the aggressiveness of Pirates, winning that decisive fight, having to, you know, switch up the way that they were playing a little bit, but it worked out in the end, and that is what you are hoping for. And Pirates, speaking of switching it up, are completely you know, overhauling their comp.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about before, about this specific map being a good variety for dive and brawl comps right now. So Pirates and Pyjamas are going to look to take over this high ground immediately right now, and it's going to cause WISP a lot of problems to try to get up here right now. Riker is going to be poking out a little bit, but you're not going to be able to jump into decisions like that. Not on the Reaper. So right now, they're just going to have to play around on the sides, hope to take over the high ground, but Z-Man gets caught out. I believe they got hacked in that situation. They managed to team up right now. It's Chronic that is low right now, trying to force their way out, but Chopper manages to find the pick. He's being taken out slowly afterwards by Zolik right now, and it's going to be Scissors that's still here on the battlefield. They're a big opponent of here right now, as it's Eric that's going to hold on to the point, but not enough, as WISP is going to get this first cap right now, and this fight is likely just going to keep running through right now, as Eric is going to be taking over the high ground right now. They have it back, and they drop it just as quickly as well, so now they're the ones taking control of this point right now, trying to force WISP to drop down on it, so the Squishy's going to be taken out a little bit easier right now, but what we're looking at right now, it's Rocket, who's about to have that Pulse Bomb online, ready to go. Raker getting hacked, getting low, but nothing quite net. It's Nev is going to throw the Nano over onto Raker, finding Zolik as well. Scissors falling directly afterwards, and this is going to be a fantastic cleanup for WISP, as they are 30% and counting.
Not only a fantastic cleanup, but a very cheap one at that. They only used the Nano. They were able to hold on to the rest of their ultimates. Chopper and Magic Mateball still getting up to those ultimates, so they will be able to, you know, have plenty to deal with what Pirates are going to have for this next fight. Zolik coming close to the beat. Scissors and Eric very close to their ultimates as well. Z-Man obviously at 80% of the coalescence right there. So this is going to be a very Q-heavy fight here, unless it stops very early. The Pulse Bomb out of Rocket might be huge if he can land it onto one of the back members of Pirates. But there's so many ways to evade it. A nice purple though, but Scissors gets the kill.
Yeah, but that is the stick you were looking for. Z-Man finally ended up using the fade right now, so now it's tied up 4v4. Chopper is going to get forced out there. They don't have the EMP for a few seconds, so Riker has to survive on the point, and they're going to use the Primal Rage to do so right now. The hack is going to go into Eric, but they're not going to go down quite yet. But they have that EMP right now, but they're still going to hold on to this right now. It's 80% and counting, and Pirates to Pyjamas have that entire ult bank to work with.
Yeah, and they might need to use every single ultimate in the bank to make this work, because WISP are at 90%, and that EMP Hunter could be massive out of Chopper, so I'm keeping my eyes on him for this entire fight. They're going to touch, I believe. Yeah, Chronic is going to be the one to touch, but keep an eye on that ultimate out of Chopper.
Yep, and it's Chopper that has to ult first, and they do end up ulting first right now, but it's Pirates and Pyjamas that just slapped the Q key as hard as they can. And WISP is just going to have to force their way out for the moment, but instead they're going to engage instead. The Nail Runner right now. They're trying to chase down Z-Man right now. Z-Man, though, is trying to evade capture right now, and it's the rest of WISP that is slowly falling apart. They are going to get Zolik, but I don't think they have the people here to be able to sustain much longer right now, but they are bringing members back a little bit quicker than Pirates right now. I believe they'll only have 3 on the point at the moment right now, so it's a tough little scenario as they're just biding their time, waiting for the correct dive. They do have a couple ults ready to go still, getting really close on that. Oh no, Chopper ends up being taken out, so if you're WISP, you need to get out of here ASAP, as Raker falling is going to force them to back up. And now it's Pirates to Pyjamas that are starting to get some of the momentum now.
That's very good out of them, and I was waiting to say it just in case WISP, you know, tried to engage there, but during that entire fight, you know, whenever Pirates were securing that point, Scissors managed to hold on to the Death Blossom. So even if WISP had engaged, they still had that ultimate in their back pocket to try and cancel out the fight. But Magic Mateball does have that rally available to cancel it, and Chopper could always EMP it as well. But you got to be careful there. Magic Mateball popping the rally.
Yeah, but Scissors does have that ult ready to go as well, but right now it's Chopper who's going to take down Zolik first, and it's DPS over on the side of WISP that are putting in the work right now. It is the 4v3, Scissors getting extremely low. Their ult is ready to go, they're looking for that moment, but they're going to get chased down just before they get the mega health pack right now. It's just Eric right now, and Chronic trying to stay on the point. You do see Zolik come back into the fight, try to even it out a little bit, but it's Seaman that's going to be battered into the corner. Raker's got 2, and they help with the fall on the 3. And right now, they're trying to see if anybody can make it back from Pyjamas and Pyjamas. They get the touch for a moment right now, but they see where they come from. Chronic taken out as soon as they got to the point right now. Scissors still has his ultimate ready to go, and they just have to use it here in a second, and they're going to try to go for it. They're going to get a little bit of damage off right now as Coalescence is going to come through, but the EMP comes as well, and it's gone. It gets the 4 remaining members of PIP right now, and they have to come together. They have to find somebody. Eric gets extremely low. They're taken out of the fight right now. The last couple members trying to touch, but it's just not going to be enough as WISP is going to take the 2-0 here on Oasis.
I don't think anyone expected WISP to win that first map, let alone win any map against Pirates. So coming out swinging is WISP, and doing so, you know, that first round was, I think, a little bit of Pirates just overstepping, just not doing what they're, you know, supposed to in that situation. But with that second map, WISP seemed to be in control for the entire time. Even when the point went over to Pirates, it was still a matter of time before WISP, you know, just decided to put their foot on the gas and say, all right, we are going to take this fight. We are going to secure this. And, you know, I just hated Scissors holding on to that Death Blossom. Whenever he was at 75 health, trying to go for the mega health pack, I think just pop the ult, because you have that life steal. You might be able to take someone with you if you die, but it's just, you go for that mega health pack and you just leave yourself wide open to be hit once with the mace and then hit with the whip shot to, you know, finish it off. And WISP, a heck of a performance out of them, you know, like I said, coming out swinging in this series, trying to make a statement and hopefully trying to, you know, push themselves to closer to beating Pirates here. But you still have at least 2 more wins that you have to get, so it is not over by any means.
No, not whatsoever. And we talked about that that Death Blossom. It was extremely hard because WISP did this perfect job of not bunching together on this dive. They only came together when they had somebody that they know that they could kill. They did a really good job of letting Pirates come in, letting them station, but they were still able to drop down and contest the point for as long as they wanted to. So especially on that second point, they did a fantastic job, as you said. But I'm worried about what this next point is going to be right now, because we saw WISP, they are very comfortable on that little dive style. So I wonder if Pirates might want to take it to a more brawl-centered map where they seem to be just a little more comfortable on that comp.
And we do have the confirmation on what this next map is going to be, and it is going to be Midtown. So this is the choice of Pirates and Pyjamas. They themselves wanting to, you know, have that flexibility, I guess. And this is another one of those maps where you can get away with playing either the brawl or the dive. So I'm actually very curious to see how Pirates, you know, want to play this. Are they going to stick to what they were doing, because they never really played the dive much on Oasis? I mean, they on that first map, you know, they had the Junker Queen composition, and the second map they had the Ramatra. So it's like, are you going to fully commit to one of them, or are you going to play the first point one way, then switch over if you manage to like secure it? Midtown is one of those that allows that flexibility to teams just like Oasis.
Exactly, and what you were harping on, let me give you a little statistic for you right now. I like to talk about these.
Sure.
They are no strangers to the map of Midtown, as they have gone to Midtown 4 times, and they have won all 4 times. Half of those, they didn't even let the other team cap the first point. So they definitely have a lot of confidence on this map right now, as I'm kind of eating my words a little bit. We see both of the kind of dive comps come out a little bit. The main difference is that Chronic and Scissor over on the hit scan for the moment, it might stay on. I don't know. It's a bit of a toss-up right now. It's down to them if they think they could take that dive or not. But as you kind of alluded to, it's kind of hard to run the dive on this attack, especially on this first point. So I'm kind of wondering if they're going to stick with this current lineup, and no, I think it's going to just change around a little bit.
Yeah, and you know, having that flexibility allows you to play your comp so differently. But speaking of differently, we see Zolik on that Zenyatta, which typically whenever we see the Ana, we see, you know, the Brigitte Ana to be able to provide some extra protection for your Ana, who can get dove pretty easily by Chopper and Rocket on those Sombra and Tracer picks respectively. But having that Discord orb can really make all the difference. And as I say that, Zolik hears me and says, nope, I'm not going to let you have any diversity. I'm going to the Brigitte.
Yep. The moment they heard Chopper over on the Sombra, they realized that they were just going to be bullied into oblivion. So they make the swap right now, keeping the break on it right now. It's Rocket taking that 1v1 with the scissors right now, trying to poke them out at the moment. But it's Riker who's going to go down first instead right now. But you do see Erica is falling directly behind them. So now it's the battle of the DPS and the supports right now. As Pirates of Pyjamas going to take this corner really quick to do a quick little regroup. They don't have to force this. They have plenty of time to allow for their take to come back right now. As they're biding their time right now, that's still getting very low right now. We are going to see Riker's going to be able to come back into the fight. The dive is going to come through. That's a nice anti out there in the corner, and Chronic is going to be the one caught up. Z-Man falling directly after. That is a big nade from Neb, and that is going to cause the rest of Pip to be taken, or the rest of Pirates to be taken out of this fight. And Wisp doing a really good job there on the back of that nade from Neb.
Nice push out of Wisp right there, and they themselves able to take Pirates off of the point. Pirates did secure a tick and some, so they got 51.6%. So that is something to, you know, be proud of, because you could really take it a little bit easier for this next push, because you know you don't have to get all three at once. But see Riker trying to get in there and almost falling down immediately.
Yeah, they really just are putting themselves in a weird position right now, especially this area right there. They have to be able to jump out of here in a moment before they kind of get sectioned out. They're gonna throw the nano on right now. They're gonna get slept for that moment, but they would get woken up instantly right now. Riker is trying to find somebody. They're running through a lot of the team right now, but it's Rocket who's gonna find this first pick off of the pulse bomb right now, as the rest of the Pirates right now kind of have to start pulling back right now. If you don't have the Ana for those heals, you're going to have an extremely tough time staying in this fight. That's proven right there with Chronic doing down. Riker getting extremely low, getting very low. They are going to barely manage to survive those right now, with doing a fantastic job holding this, and they have a lot of ults coming up.
Yeah, and that is going to be the difference maker, I think, for this fight, because basically everything is even except for the Tracer ultimates. Scissors has his, whereas Rocket does not. Chopper, though, with that EMP, I think could be very pivotal for this Bob out of Chronic, because not only can you hack it, but the EMP is going to go anyways!
It goes through right now. Both the supports get hacked, but Zolik does manage to barely get the rally on in time. They stay alive right now. Z-Man still has the nano ready to go as well. So Pirates in Pyjamas, they still have a place in this fight. They still have the opportunity. They have the nano, the primal rage, the pulse if they really need it. The pulse is going to come through. It's going to catch on a Neb, and that's going to even up the fight. As we do see the nano come out, it comes out on Zolik to try to keep them alive right now. Since they're going to find Neb, but Magic Mayfall finding a little revenge directly after the fact. But even after all of that right now, it's still Wisp who's coming up on the lead right now. Trying to look right now. Eric is kind of going on the primal rage, trying to find somebody. But there's nobody to be found at the moment. And there's a less than a minute and counting, and Pirates in Pyjamas just threw all their ults at the wall.
Yeah, Chronic is the only one who has an ultimate right now, and that Bob, you know, we've seen what damage Bob can do in the right hands, but Chopper says, I don't want that Bob to be any type of a threat, could just hack it out immediately as it gets put down, and Scissors and Rocket right there having that little duel, but bigger fight happening on the side.
Yeah, Chopper getting the finish over there, and Z-Man, it's a good job. Rocket helping out in the meanwhile. The Bob, though, in a very strange place. It's in that right side room right next to Rocket. It's going to find absolutely no value in there, as we are 13 seconds in counting right now. Pirates in Pyjamas are going to have to force a touch here, and it might be Scissors that's going to have to do it right now. Eric is still getting a lot of pressure as they're just waiting for the opportunity. You're going to see the dive come in. Eric is going to be able to touch right now. The dive is going to be thrown on them a little bit right now. The hack on the Scissors is going to get them. They're getting low. The recall is going to come through right now, and it's Wisp who is running out of ultimates. They're running out of gas. It's Chopper right now. They need that EMP coming up here. If they have any hope of being able to take this fight back effectively, this is what they need. And they're at 97% right now. They're so close as Riker is going to give it the pulse bomb. The moment the EMP comes in right now, it's tied up right now, but they have to get this touch right now. They're doing a good job with it so far. Zolik trying to stay on the point right now. It's Z-Man and Zolik still holding strong. They will be able to keep each other for a short time being, but they're touch the point, and Wisp is absolutely cooking today as they do the 95% hold on Pirates in Pyjamas. Pod, what is going on today?
Dude, my face is in my hands. You can't see the webcam right now, but I am absolutely, stunned. Like, I'm speechless. Pirates in Pajamas. This is their map. This is their map. You said it yourself. They are held before this first point. Now, granted, WISP have not won the map yet. I'm not trying to say that, but it does put Pirates in Pajamas behind the 8-ball, pun intended, with Magic Mate Ball. It is very difficult to be forced to hold that first point. It's one thing if you do hold the first point on defense first, because you're like, oh, heck yeah. But when you have to hold the first point, when you know that if you mess up one team fight, you lose the match, then it really puts the pressure on and might make Pirates, have a little bit of jitters on themselves and might have to play a little bit differently. We see Scissors, about to say, hasn't even selected a hero yet, but is just going to go with the Tracer 1v1 against Rocket again. And Pirates gonna keep their composition pretty similar, except for Erikik on that Ramatra instead of the Winston. So wanting to play something where they can get a lot more brawl out towards the point in this little corridor right here. But WISP, they don't even need to secure the full thing. They just got to get 95.5% and they win.
Yeah, exactly. And the main contributor I'm looking at right now is a Chopper. Right now, that EMP, no matter when they get it, is going to be the most valuable ult on this entire 4 minutes that we have coming up right now. They're to send the dive on the Z-Man. Z-Man's down! The nade comes through, and they don't manage to keep them up in time right now. So now Zolok is going to have no backup. They're immediately in a bad situation. Scissor going to have to use the recall to kind of back out and get out of there, as Whip is going to be pressuring the point right now. Looking to secure that first tick, a little bit of contestant coming through as Chopper is getting extremely low right now. Scissor trying to bring the fight to Neb right now, missing with the Pulse Bomb. Scissors, though, does have the recall ready to go, but Wisp nearly has 2 ticks on this point already. Neb eventually going to go down right now. It is Scissors who's trying to pull this fight back right now, trying to find Magic Maple, who's getting alone and alone right now. The sleep on the Riker's going to get woken up instantly. It is Z-Man who's falling right now. Riker directly afterwards. And with Erikik still on the point, it looks like they are going to have to go for a quick reset here. But that, already 2 ticks taken off the board.
Oh my goodness, I was about to say, yeah, you might have held, but you gave away 2/3 of the point already. They had 3 minutes to go, and a nice nade isn't going to connect with anything. Chopper is doing some reconnaissance, as Sommer is so good at doing, and I think for the rest of this game, Wisp just need to, pressure this point one by one, force Pirates to make some hasty decisions, and look, Chronic goes down.
Yeah, Chronic down. They made that swap in that fight before right now, but ends up meaning nothing as Chopper is also found Sonic right now. It's all falling apart as Wisp is gonna take Midtown and deliver Pirates their very first loss on this map. And just like that, Wisp is already at match point. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Hunter, I know you don't want me to be pointing fingers at anyone.
It keeps happening.
Apparently, according to the text chat, this is your 3rd time cursing a team's perfect map. So I'm not counting. Apparently that's been you who's been counting. So I'm just gonna leave that on the table, and the audience can they can assess that as they will.
I don't know how it keeps happening. Why does this keep happening to me, Pod? I don't understand anymore. I just have to keep my mouth shut when it comes to these maps.
Yeah, I mean it looked really good. I mean, Wisp, at the very least, even if, who knows if this is just like an off day for Pirates or just a really on day for Wisp. Because, I mean, honestly, Wisp have been playing out of their mind. If you just showed me this sample size of these 2 maps, it's like, dang, Wisp seemed like the best team, 9 days out of the week. There's only 7 days. That's how good they are. But it's like, Pirates in Pajamas are the team that are in first. They are 7-1. They are plus 16 on the map differential. Now it's only plus 14. So they really do not want it to go to plus 13. But even still, this is the first place team. And like I said, after they won, that first control map, you still have to win 2 more matches. Now they've won that second one. Now you have to win that third. Can you close the door? Can you shut this game and take it to, just make sure you can go to bed. You don't need to worry about it, but you have to win that third game. I have seen reverse sweeps happen in my casting career, so I would not put it out of perspective with Pirates to potentially have that reverse sweep, and it might potentially start on this next map of Circuit Royale.
Yeah, Circuit Royale, which is definitely a very poke-heavy map. We typically don't see any other comp outside of that. Maybe sometimes you see desperation on maybe a brawl in the third point, something to that degree, but poke is definitely the central of this map right here, and it's obviously going to cause for a big change-up. We're likely to see a lot of Widow, a lot of Ashe, maybe a little bit of Hanzo, and we did see over on Pip, they did seem like they did want to start out with some of those hit scans at one point, so perhaps there's a bit more comfortability on that comp. But at the end of the day, this is their choice, and luckily, I don't have the privilege of saying I don't have the privilege of talking about Circuit Royale. They have only played it a couple of times. They technically have won it every single time, but I'm not gonna say anything more about that. So.
Not going to say anything more, but something I will say with WISP, they are going to be swapping out their tank Riker for Icy. So something I've seen a lot with Circuit Royale, it is not, rush or brawl dominated. Something I personally have seen a lot of is Sigma. I've seen a lot of Sigma tank being played on Circuit Royale just because of the openness of the map. You can get some really good usage out of your shield, really good usage out of the gravitic flux. And you are exactly right with, potentially seeing more Ashe, seeing more Widowmaker. Maybe even we'll see a Hanzo if some teams are feeling spicy with it, because having, that first point with such long sight lines, it can really, if you have a very talented Widowmaker or a very talented Ashe, you are not getting through that anytime soon, because all of a sudden your entire backline is getting two-tapped by the sniper who is all the way in the background. You're not even able to see them. That's how far away they are. But it is going to be up to Pirates to find that happy medium. Do they have, that Widowmaker and sniper prowess in Scissors and in Chronic? Is that going to be in their wheelhouse, or are they going to stick to what they have been playing?
You definitely have to swap it up at this point. The big point that it comes down to is this is a very DPS central composition. Having a good Sigma, having good sports, that's very important. But right now, as we look over as Chopper and Chronic, that is going to be our Widow 1v1 for this matchup. Obviously, one of the most exciting 1v1s out there. Only second to the Torbjorn 1v1 Hammer. Obviously, nothing more important than that. But Seonjun is going to be over on the Sojourn potentially to start things out. Sojourn does come out on this map a little bit here and there. We've even seen Genji a time or two as well. So there's definitely a little bit of wiggle room for that second DPS. But Widow is definitely a big mainstay on this map.
Yeah, just such a good pick here if you can have a good Widow, because they can really do a lot with, the grapple shots, with the cheeky little angles that you can hold. But I like the double sniper out of Pirates. I'm a big fan of having this Hanzo as well, being able to use that sonic arrow to provide some extra utility for your team. And we see as well on both of these teams, they are rocking with the Zenyatta and the Baptiste. So we have yet to see this support line for any team this series, let alone both of them.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very popular one on this map. Most teams end up running this Zen Bap comp right now. It's just going to be a lot of the poke right now, just waiting for Chronic or Chopper to find that first pick to open things up right now. And honestly, neither team can do a whole lot until then. Pirates is just going to try to hold on to this corner as hard as they can. Wisp trying to open it up a little bit so they can start taking more angles right now. As in this composition, Pirates is the one that can take all the angles right now. Oh, you didn't want to take the angle! With the 2K, holding absolutely nothing back right now. You know they're looking for more blood right now, as the rest of him is just trying to back up, trying to stay alive for the moment being. Chopper is waiting for the head peek. Chronic doesn't want to give it to them right now, as they're going to have to try to get out of there. The only survivor right now, they just barely missed, but still, that 2K to start things up absolutely made Pip fall on their faces.
Chopper with the insane Widow performance on that first point allows WISP to secure it with over 5 minutes on that time bank. Absolutely huge. And we didn't highlight it pre-match, but we see that Rocket was also subbed out for Seonjun. So a little bit of a change there as well. And WISP hoping that this roster change can, close out that 3-0. And so far, granted, it hasn't been, one of the players that was subbed in that's been making the difference, with Chopper, just having an insane Widow game so far. But it's definitely been a great performance out of Icy and Xianjun so far, because look at those ultimates already at 90% on both of them. And that window out of Z-Man, is it going to catch anyone? No, I think the cover is just too good for Wisp.
Yeah, it is going to force them, though, to kind of hide away for a few moments. This does give an opportunity for Pirates to kind of get their bounties a little bit here, but they're going to have to try to take advantage of it. As we see the Flux come out, Chopper is going to find the Volt on Scissors. Meanwhile, it's Air Kick that is going to be taken out instead. Zolak flying directly afterwards. Right now, Wisp, they want to get this all over with, and a little bit of the tactical crouch to follow it up. Wisp is on fire right now.
Oh my goodness, I said it during the break. I don't know if this is Wisp just having the series of their life, or Pirates in Pyjamas gave the keyboard to their little brother. I mean, it has just been utter dominance out of Wisp. I mean, they capped second point with over 5 minutes on the time bank, and we see Pirates making a drastic change, I would say, to their comp, swapping over to the Genji for Scissors.
Yeah, Genji is surprisingly a decent character on this third point. Very specifically, there's a lot of verticality, especially on this third point, so they can find some advantage within it. But the problem is that Chopper is just getting away with whatever they want to get away with right now, is they're gonna have to use Prince Sentence, make sure that everybody survives the Flux right now, as they're still getting a lot of push on this payload right now. Oh, but it's Chronic finally finding the headshot they were looking for, and that's gonna open things up for the rest of Pip right now. Is going to be forcing the rest of the team to come back. Almost got the headshot. The shield managing to stop it, as it's Zolak who's going to fall down, and we're going to have a 44 in our hands, and the sights are going to come online. Xianjun does not want to let them get out of there. Chronic gets headshot from across the map just before Scissor manages to find the kill. So now it's all tied up right now. You see Maple making the way up there. Chopper with the quick little flick. Scissors taken out of the fight, and it's the rest of the team of Pip trying to get out of there. The Immortality buying them a little bit more time right now. Air Kick getting very low, as only both of the support ults remain for this team. Scissor getting desperately close to that blade. That could be what they need to try to stop the bleeding here a little bit, as the Transcendence is going to go early right now. Z-Man, though, they're going to be taken out first right now. Dab throws down their own Amplification Matrix right now. They still have the advantage. Chronic getting a little low themselves, and Scissors, hey, have to go on this blade soon here right now, as Eric is going to get caught in that endeavor right now. There's no way they're going to survive, as there's nobody left from Pip to be able to touch this point, and Wisp are going to finish with a startling 3 minutes and 39 seconds. Somebody has to go check the record books right now.
Oh my goodness, Pirates!
Is it
What's
opposite
going
day
on, man? I don't think so. I wasn't told about it if it was, because Pirates, they just seem to be falling apart. I mean, 3 minutes and 39 seconds on Circuit Royale? That is just completely unheard of. Wisp just, playing all the right moves, doing everything that they need to. And we saw in that last fight, Magic 8-Ball didn't even have that, transcendence to counter Scissors' blade. Scissors pops the blade, dies immediately. Doesn't even get one kill. Dies immediately. So that Hanzo just completely, or not the Hanzo, he's on the Hanzo now, but that Genji just completely useless. I mean, just, you spent all that time on this assassin hero to try and, blow up, Chopper on that Widowmaker, trying to blow up Magic 8-Ball and Neb in that backline, and you promptly just fall over on your face and not able to do anything. So Wisp, they are in the perfect position for the rest of this map, because keep in mind, even if Pirates manage to get it all the way to that third point, what are the odds that they finish with time? And B, what are the odds they finish with time that is anywhere close to what you have?
I mean, it's always possible. We saw this week, last weekend in the Overwatch League, it was a 7-6 score on Circuit Royale. Both teams finished the map 2 different times, one of them with only a minute on the board. So it's definitely possible. We've seen crazy things, and we've seen them very recently. But the first part they have to go through is getting past this corner right here. This is one of the hardest spots to get through in this map, and honestly, one of the hardest points to get through in general when it comes to these types of maps. So right now, it's the same as before. They need to find this opening trip pick right now. Chopper managed to find the opening ones last time, and right now it's Chronic that has to do the same thing here. So right now, They're going to be contesting the point, going to be popping up. Sonjun is going down right now. Magic Maple manages to even out the score a little bit right now as they're trying to break this open a little bit more. Losing Sonjun is kind of going to hurt this team, but they will be able to get back in a steady amount of time right now. Right now, it's Pyjamas and Pyjamas that need to start pushing up a little bit, trying to dominate a little bit more of the space, as right now, Wisp is going to have to give it to them right now. You find the body shot, no headshots inside right now, 0 headshots, as right now, they're kind of just settling a bit right now. They're looking for the headshots. It's hard to keep going with this because right now, that's what they need. They need to find this opening pick right now. We're going to see the amplification matrix coming out. It's going to force a lot of the members of Wisp to kind of back out a little bit, but how they back up is going to quite matter when you walk into that. And right now, Pip should be able to finish this up, but they are going to send in the ult to this fight as well. Icy, though, is going to get shot by Chronic and taken out. That ult going to be null and void, as it's Pirates and Pyjamas finishing with just under the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, they themselves doing insanely good as Chronic gets another headshot onto Chopper. So, you know, maybe I spoke a little bit too soon on Pirates' performance in this map, because they are doing just about as good on that first point as Wisp did. Now, this is the true test. Can they get through this second point in just the same amount of time? Pirates, they're coming up on a few ultimates. Wisp already have 2, coming up on a 3rd. So that is going to be very good for this next fight. Chopper with that, you know, with the visor, with the infra sight. It's not as offensive as a sight. Ooh, but Seonjin gonna get domed right there by Chronic.
Yeah, it's a good headshot from Chronic. They're in a really good spot right now as the rest of Wisp is in a really bad situation. Seonjun, you see they're heading over to the Genji. It's just a repeat scenario right now as Magic Meatball is barely managing to survive with their lives. And right now, the question right now is Wisp even going to try to recontest the second point?
I mean, if Icy is close enough, I think they might. And by Seonjin's positioning, I think they are going to here. The infra sight as well as the sonic arrow is going to reveal this Genji off to the side. 0.4 meters to go, and the Sigma ult just gonna lift them up in the air and push them away right now. And now Wisp are the ones that are getting ran down. Wait, but they turn the fight. They get 2 kills, and they're gonna stall Pirates at least for a little bit right here. But the point has already been secured, so the spawns are going to be right there. So Wisp got to be careful they do not overstay their welcome.
Yeah, and right now, Wisp, they're not going to be punished too hard. It just matters if somebody accidentally peeks this Widow or not. Chronic is looking for the right angle at the moment. But right now, Icy's doing a good job kind of holding on to the side at this point. They do have Maple and Neb directly on them to make sure they stay up no matter what right now. But it's the question of, do they want to push into this? And the answer is yes. We want to go right now. Icy getting ran down right now, getting some really good heals as it's Eric that is going to manage to drop first. And with the Immortality field gone, Chronic, though, does find Magic Maple with the headshot. So now they're still in this 4v4 situation, but the biggest component right now is Wisp is still holding on to the door as Scissors. I don't know if you want to go there, buddy. Seonjun is waiting for you.
Yeah, you cannot really walk forward with that Genji just chilling right there, but now I think the ultimates are just favoring Wisp a little bit, and that is Transcendence going to be countered. Is going to counter the Gravitic Flex, but the cart is through the chokehold, and that is all Pirates wanted. They just wanted to get out of that little, you know, limbo that they were stuck in, but it seems like even though the cart is all the way over there, they're still here.
Yeah, and even though they get the cart moving, that doesn't mean that they just get the free pass to go through now. It's going to open up a little bit right now, and it's Scissors who's trying to create a little conflict on top, but Neb is having absolutely none of it. Nobody gets the pass through without their permission right now, as 2 members already down for Pirates and Pyjamas. Wisp wants to try to see if they can get one more, but they have no reason to push out and expose themselves.
Yeah, no reason to push out and, you know, give some unnecessary ult charge or maybe even an elim over to your opponents. And yeah, Seonjin almost getting absolutely obliterated by the by the volley of Zen orbs right there. But the Dragon Blade is on live, but the Gravitic Flux is going to be used by Air Kick right there. I don't know if it was stunned or not, but there goes the Dragon Blade.
Here it is. They're going in. Seonjun having a really tough time trying to find anybody right now. It looks like they're just kind of forced people to stay back for a moment. No value, but they don't die during it. That is the important part, and it's Chronic not being taken down. As right now, it's Scissors trying to be the one to turn around with their Dragon Blade, finding nothing yet. Seonjun's going to lose the 1v1. And right now, it's Chopper, the man still alive right now. Magic Baseball still there to save the day right now. As it is right now, just Z-Man and Chopper right now. But Chopper is going to have to back up a little bit here.
Oh my gosh, Chronic had to go and ruin the support 1v1. I was looking for it. He just had to go and headshot Magic 8-Ball right there. What the heck? You got to respect it. But I respect Wisp's defense so far. They've held Pirates at that choke point for just about 2.5 minutes, which has really torched their time bank. Because right now, I mean, yeah, if they were to cap, they still cap, but you have so much more time than them that you are really sitting in a pretty place. Both Impresites are going to be used, so both teams know exactly where each other are if they did not already. But I'm looking at Wisp other two ultimates. They have both support ultimates available, the Transcendence as well as that window. One offensive, one defensive, so you got to be careful where you step.
Yeah, right now, and the important one right now is that Transcendence from Magic 8-Ball right now. See that Z-Man is going to end up using the... Oh no, Magic 8-Ball stepped right in front of it. That's really unfortunate. But Wisp counters with their own right now, and it's Z-Man who's going to fall directly afterward. And it's Pirates and Pyjamas that's going to be in a much tougher scenario, as they're not going to have those Baptiste hills, and it's going to start to really pour down on them right now, as Wisp is going to get the cleanup right now. Chronic does, unfortunately, die at the very end, but it's not going to matter when you're that close to the spawn. And it's not going to matter even more when we're already down to that 1 minute mark. So Pirates and Pyjamas with maybe 2 fights remaining. Oh, Chopper! Oh, no.
Chopper with the nice headshot onto Chronic. I'm sure as soon as Chronic stepped out of spawn pretty much, and Pirates, they have that flux, they have the Transcendence of their own. So I imagine that Zolik is going to hold that Transcendence for Seonjin's Blade, because that is absolutely one of the best counters to Blade in the entire game. Granted, they do have Z-Man with that Immortality Field, so they could just, you know, try and use that and hope they can blow up Seonjin with Scissors on the Genji as well, hoping to get a Dragon Blade of his own right there. And now Chopper just chilling up here on this high ground. No one really able to contest him just yet. But Wisp, knowing they do not have to be the ones who press the gas, and it's going to be Eric who presses it.
Yeah, Maple is holding on to this for the moment. They realize they don't need it quite yet, so they're going to be able to save it for the next ultimate. As right now, it's Icy that's going to send out their own right now, but they're going to have the Transcendence on the other side, but it's Scissors who's going to go down first, and it's Chronic, the lone DPS remaining. They're just sitting there waiting for Seonjun to come out, but they're taking their sweet time. He's like, go ahead, wait for me, see what happens. And right now, Chronic in a bad scenario, they're taken out. Nobody's going to be able to touch this point either. And right now, it is Wisp coming away with the bit of a shocking 3-0. I'm still taken aback right now, Bod.
What happened, man? Like, what happened, Pirates? You guys come into this match as massive favorites.
Maybe, all right, maybe you win the match, but you win 3-1. Maybe you even get pushed to 3-2. But everyone thought you win this match, and you win it handily. But Wisp are the ones who come out swinging, who dominate on Midtown, and then do even better on Circuit Royale, stumping Pirates at that little chokehold, at that little corridor of that third point for what seemed like forever, beating Pirates at their own game, picking the exact same heroes that Pirates pick, go over to that Genji, stick on the Widow. We are going to play it better than you are. And the last 2 maps were Pirates' choice. So Pirates picked these maps thinking they are going to win them because they are very comfortable on them. But that's not always the case, as we just saw. And now Wisp push themselves to 6-3, and Pirates drop to 7-2, no longer holding sole possession of that first place.
Yeah, it's tough for them, and it's like we said, they're still in the playoffs no matter what.
Sure.
You
Yes.
want that #1 seed. You want to be able to go against the weakest possible opponent you can. But after running into Wisp, and Wisp just, like I said, coming away with the most random 3-0 you can think of. Anybody who bet this right now is the millionaire. They're set for life. They can fund contenders for years to come. It doesn't matter anymore. And it's shocking. And I think like the biggest standout, especially on that Circuit Royale, is Chopper. Not even that opening 2K that we saw immediately on that attack would just make Pirates fall on their face. But they did a fantastic job as well on Midtown. And I think especially over on Oasis. I think they're definitely that standout player. But I think everybody did their job properly. I'm still a little shocked right now, Pod. I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah, and I mean we cannot forget about obviously like the other two DPS for WISP with Seonjin on that third map, and then obviously Rocket on those first two, really just providing what the team needed, whether it was a Tracer, whether it was Sojourn, whether it was Genji, just doing everything. Because something that you like highlighted, but we don't really understand the true importance of it, was Seonjin on that Genji just chilling up top, diverting Chronic's attention. Because yeah, like you weren't, pushing damage onto Chronic and trying to kill him. You were just distracting him long enough that he was not able to focus fire on the rest of your team. Because yeah, you are out of the fight, but it is more important that he is out of the fight, because you don't necessarily have, the ability to one-shot people. You can if you like hit all of your shurikens right and everything, but it is a lot easier for Chronic to one-shot people. So it puts you, yeah, you guys are both like 1-for-1 players, but losing that Widowmaker one-shot potential to completely turn a fight is so much bigger than a lot of people realize. So WISP playing all of their cards right and, able to end this match pretty early.
Yeah, not what we expected. I think we expected to be here for a lot longer.
Yes.
Or, even if we thought it'd be this time, we thought it'd be the other way around. But
Absolutely.
the moment that WISP came out swinging in this first map on Oasis, you knew they were cooking something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cooking something indeed. And yeah, I mean, we can just take a look at the rest of these round 9 matches. All of them, except for Afterlife and Dragon Dance, which I believe just began, or maybe they're still in the middle of their second match. But all of them 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, 1-0. So Dragon Dance, you gotta win so we can make it 1-1 again. But WISP being the complete outlier, not wanting to be left alone, be left, the ones to get 3-0'd Pirates. I'm sure they are just as baffled as we are as how they lost this match. So now if O3 Splash win this game against Saints, they will be the ones who have that sole possession of first place.
Yeah, and that's incredible for them. That has to be the biggest boost of confidence, not only to win a match against Saints potentially, who is already a very tough team to begin with, who I think had that third place spot.
Yes.
But for Pirates to realize that, oh, hey, we just threw it down the toilet, and O3 gets that free pass up into that #1 spot. And honestly, at this point, with who they kind of have left, I don't think it's very likely that they lose it in this scenario.
Yeah, and I'm actually looking at it right now, and regardless of the outcome of the Saints and O3 Splash game, Pirates fall to third place.
Oh.
Because if Saints win this map, so let's say they win, let's say they win 3-1, they will go to 7-2. They will push O3 Splash to 7-2. So there'll be 3 teams tied with 7-2, but the map differential will be +9 for Saints. It'll be I guess plus 8 for no. Okay, I'm trying to do the math here. I'm cooking. I'm not doing it very well, but yeah, Saints. You got to keep in mind, yeah, here we take a look right here. So if Saints win this game 2-1, okay, so Pirates have the potential to remain in this second place position, but